This is a demonstration of druidic abilities. So for this example, I'm going to be using Shirka here. She is a player's handbook style druid, so basically the forest druid. She is exactly level 7, so she'll have all the abilities that are allowed for druids, at least in this example. There are additional abilities later on for Hierophant druids, but that's at level, I think, 15. So this is just for the druid class, and I'll be adding more for Hierophants later. Okay, so says druid abilities for Shirka. Some granted powers at level 1. Druid makes saving throws as a priest, but he or she in this case gains a bonus of +2 to all saving throws versus fire or electrical attacks. It's pretty straightforward. That means, lightning bolts and fireballs and stuff like that. Because of Druid's attunement to the elements and nature. And then all Druids can speak a secret language in addition to any other tongues they know. So it's a Druidic language that's kind of a secret among the Druid hierarchy. Druids jealously guard this language. It is the one infallible method they have of recognizing each other. So they just kind of talk to each other in this language, and if the other person responds, then they know it's a Druid. So it's kind of like the secret handshake. Additional powers are granted as a Druid reaches higher levels, so at level 3, then again at level 7, and then a Druid cannot turn undead. The standard Druid class anyways cannot. Okay, so we're going to open up, say, some level 3 abilities. He can identify plants, animals, and pure water with perfect accuracy after he reaches 3rd level. So it's somewhat survival proficiency in some ways. He can pass through overgrown areas, thick thorn bushes, tangled vines, briar patches, etc. without leaving a trail, and at his normal movement rate after he reaches 3rd level. So when taking cover in underbrush and whatnot, it doesn't count as, terrain that would hamper you, like for normal characters. So you pass through it in your normal movement rate, and then other characters might pass through it half. And then he can learn languages of woodland creatures. These include centaurs, dryads, elves, fauns, gnomes, dragons, giants, lizard men, manticores, nixies, pixies, sprites, and trents. The druid can add 1 language at 3rd level and 1 more every time he advances a level above 3rd. So eventually that means 28 languages. So if you count 3rd level and go all the way up to level 30, which is the max level in 2nd edition, that is 28 woodland creature languages. And then if the optional proficiency rules are used, it is the druid's choice whether or not to spend a proficiency slot on one or more of these languages. As you gain levels, you gain additional proficiency slots, and you can, rather than get them for free, you can actually spend them to get them faster. Spend slots to get them faster. I'm sure there are more than 30 languages anyways, so whatever. Alright. And our level 7 abilities. So for this demonstration here, I'm just going to reduce her hit points to 1 for a second, just to show one of the mechanics. So level 7. Druid level 7 abilities. He's immune to charm spells cast by woodland creatures, so dryads, nixies, etc. Fox women can't charm you. What's another one? Nymph, I guess, would be another one. If a green dragon had a charm spell, whatever. And then he gains the ability to shape change into a reptile, bird, or mammal up to 3 times per day after he reaches 7th level. Each animal form, reptile, bird, or mammal can be used only once per day. The size, so this is the important part. size can vary from that of a bullfrog or small bird. So bullfrogs are pretty little. They're less than a foot tall. Small birds like a wren or something, pretty small. So that means tiny size, basically. And then to as large as a black bear. So that right there is some tricky language. So black bears are not large size category. They are actually medium. So I have a black bear here. This is cut straight out of the Monstrous Manual, or a website that looks like the Monstrous Manual. And their size is actually medium, 6 feet tall. So, you know, GM Fiat, what this actually means is you can change into an animal as large as your character size or smaller, all on down to tiny. And if you want to get real specific with it, since most druids are medium-sized creatures, you've got medium, small, tiny, so 2 steps down. So a large creature might be able to change into something as small as a pig or a dog or a cat. They're small creatures. If you want to be more lenient, you could go as small as tiny. But a large-sized druid might be able to change into something larger than a black bear. So an actual large creature, because they're larger than standard-sized druids. But that's GM Fiat. That's up to interpretation. Upon assuming a new form, the druid heals 10 to 60%, or 1d6 times 10% of all damage he has suffered. So that means the HP that are missing. So in this example, 1d6 times 10% of the 37 hit points that are gone. So her wounds. The druid can only assume the form of a normal real-world animal in its normal proportions, but by doing so, he takes on all of that creature's characteristics. Its movement rate and abilities, its armor class, number of attacks, and damage per attack. So what that looks like is this. So say she wants to turn into a black bear. So actually, first step, she wants to turn into a black bear. So the player will click on shape change, type in black bear here. Okay. Then while the player is raising Shirka's hit points by 3, the GM is going through the creature lists and finding black bear, dropping it down here. Okay, opening up the token, turning it into Shirka, and then linking her HP. And that's it. And then you just save the changes. Now, she's a half-elf. This is a black bear. She just turned into a black bear. So she normally has 60 feet of infravision, but she's a black bear now, so guess what? She now has no infravision, just a 1-foot aura of sight around the bear. Okay, so you gain all of the physical characteristics, all of that creature's characteristics, movement rate, abilities, armor class, number of attacks, and damage per attack. So fortunately, on Shirka's character sheet, I have set up beforehand, let's say Shirka has turned into a black bear before, I have put the black bear's attacks on her character sheet because she's a proficient black bear fighter, because she's done this before. So I just leave these on her character sheet, and you can add more lines, you know, as a player as you see fit. This is infinite. You can go up to infinite, I'm pretty sure, amounts of attacks for different creatures, and then you can slide them up and down by using this menu. Okay, and your attack macro only displays your top 8 attacks. So if you turn into a bear, you want to slide the bear attacks to the top, obviously. Okay, so now she just turned into a bear. Notice the HP on both these tokens is linked. So -1, enter. It goes 3, 3. I put it back up to 4, +1, back up to 4, back up to 4. So you delete the original token, Now Shirka is a bear, and this token is linked to her sheet, so she can do bear attacks. So we get our black bear claw, front, shorter melee, same elevation, no mod, no mod. Okay, black bear scores a paw hit with an 18 or better. It also hugs, so that's kind of a special attack. Okay, there's a black bear bite. That's just a pretty straightforward attack. And let's do one more claw. Let's say this claw, let's just say hypothetically it does roll that 18. So, okay, crit. That's 18 or higher, right? So the target takes the crit damage. Now you roll the hug. And the cool thing about bear hugs is they don't let go. They just keep hugging you and hugging you and hugging you. It's automatic damage every round. Okay, automatic hit attack. Shirka uses a medium-sized black bear hug to attack Shirka. Just ignore the hits AC because it's an automatic attack. You just have damage. That's it. And obviously that can't crit because there's no attack roll. And that's pretty much it. So eventually she's going to turn back into her normal self. And you would, you know, roll your Druid abilities again, level 7. Once she turns back, you'd roll shape change again into Shirka, and she would regain that 20. Okay, now notice I'm going to keep doing this over and over again. Now, shape change only regenerates the HP that's still left. Okay? Okay, so what that means is you never quite get to 100% because of it. So I just rolled 1 plus 1. Okay, shape change again. 7 HP plus 7. Okay, so now we're at 32 out of 38. Shape change, yada yada yada. Regenerates 1 HP. It's plus 1. And eventually, you get to the point where you're just regenerating 1 hit point again and again because it's only 10 to 60% of what you're missing. So eventually you're going to get it to 37, okay? So you're missing 1 hit point, and then look what happens. Okay? This is 1 HP missing test. 1 HP missing test. Okay, I rolled a 6, so that's 60%, but she regenerates 0 HP. Alright, that's because it's rounded down for player characters, right? You don't round up. So you can never get to 100% with that ability. So Druids kind of have to heal naturally for that last little bit or use a spell. And that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching.